Hi, welcome back to Finally Revealed. In this episode, we want to talk with Lisa Epps of Spencer Fane Law Firm about business bankruptcy. Hi, Lisa.
Hi,
Thank you for joining us. Okay, for this first one, we want to talk about some of the nuts and bolts or the mechanics of Chapter 11. And something that people have asked is how much does it cost and how do you pay for it?
Well, Chapter 11 can be a fairly expensive process. And so the filing fee itself is about $2,000. And then depending on what you want to accomplish in the case, it could be, several $1,000s or several $100,000. It just depends. And a lot of times, not only are you paying for your fees, your counsel's fees, you're also paying for other professionals that may be hired in the case, and you may be paying the bank's fees as well. So, these are all issues that, we can discuss or you can discuss with an attorney before you file. But great questions to ask first are how much is it going to cost versus what will I accomplish in the end?
Okay, and it sounds like those different charges are going to depend on how big the company is and maybe whether it's a liquidation or it's going to be a reorganization.
Absolutely. And so depending on what you want to accomplish, sometimes Chapter 11 may not be the best alternative for you. And so I think that's another reason where I know a lot of people and companies don't want to think about bankruptcy because they don't want to believe that they are in that place. But honestly, in my experience, the sooner you talk with an attorney, the better, because sometimes you might be able to get results with a little bit of planning that you won't if you wait until the bank or your creditors are at your door.
Okay. And then how does it actually work when you're going to file Chapter 11? Is there a special board meeting that's needed, or what kind of authority?
Well, and this is a question that is becoming more challenging when a lot of companies form through LLCs or limited liability companies. And we have had people come to us and they are in a fight with other members of the LLC, and so they want to file for bankruptcy to be able to resolve some of the issues. And you always have to look to your governing documents to see what authority you have to file. And so depending on what your operating agreement says, if you're a limited liability company or your whatever other corporate documents, that will govern how you file.
That's really interesting. Okay, so as far as not just being able to go into court and authorizing it, whether or not that's something that you're even allowed to do.
Right. I mean, for example, if you have a limited liability company that has 3 members and you have 2 members that are fighting with the other member, and so the 2 want to put it in bankruptcy, typically because bankruptcy is such an extraordinary action, it will require the vote of all 3. And so the 2 members won't be able to put the LLC into bankruptcy. And if they do, if they've got a sophisticated member on the other side that's got a decent attorney, they'll be able to file a motion to dismiss from the very beginning because you didn't have the authority to be in.
Okay, great. And then once you are in a Chapter 11, what type of participation can the management expect to have to add to their normal daily duties?
Well, as we explain to our clients, during the Chapter 11 process, you will have 2 full-time jobs. You will have the job of keeping your company running, but then you'll also have the job of reorganizing in the bankruptcy. It is physically and emotionally taxing, but on the other hand, it can get you results that you wouldn't be able to get outside of a bankruptcy. And so most of our clients who are able to successfully reorganize tell us that it was worth it. But the management can't be absent during this process. We rely on them quite a bit.
Okay. And so just to recap, so the cost is going to depend upon what your goals are and how big you are.
Right.
Whether or not you can do it and then how you would file it is going to involve looking at your corporate documents.
Right.
And then management has to make sure it's worth it economically and time-wise in order to pursue.
That's exactly right. It can get you the results that you want, but there's a lot of planning and effort both prior to filing and during that process as well.
This is really helpful. Thanks so much, Lisa.
Thanks, Michelle.